howdy, all you collector car fans out there. This is once again Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Bush Motorsports, and boy, do I got a treat for you. This is a great Tales from the Bush coming to you from me right now. That's Mr. Rock Hudson, the famous movie star from the 50s and 60s. So this whole Tales from the Bush is about his car. He had a 1959 T-Bird convertible, and this is it right here. She's a beauty. And here's the things that are going to be hard to believe. That is a completely untouched, unrestored car. That is the original chrome, the original paint. Everything you're about to see, this car has never been touched. It was a very low mileage car. But here's the craziest part about it. You can kind of see the buildings in the background there. You might be able to figure it out a little bit later. You know where I found this car? In Germany. On the other side of the world from the U.S. and Los Angeles, where Rock Hudson was, that's where this car ended up. How it got out there, I don't know. But you know, a lot of stuff happens over time. But here it is. It is going to be really hard for most people to believe this, but this car was untouched. If you really know what you're looking at, take a look at the moldings, take a look at the lights, everything. The car just is... It's just a complete time capsule. It's unbelievable. Now, the craziest thing about this car is this car's been missing for a long time. It was supposedly lost. Nobody knew where the car was. You know, after Rock Hudson died in the 70s, people started categorizing all of this stuff that he had, and this car was missing. Nobody knew where the car was. I really don't know, through all my research, how it ended up back in Germany. But I got contacted by a guy when I was, involved with the car industry, and Southern Bush Motorsports was on the top of the game. And this guy told me, he said, look, here's the car. It's real. You have 2 days to try to sell this car, or it's gone forever. And I was like, well, man, 2 days isn't enough to sell any car. He goes, this car belonged to Rock Hudson. You have 48 hours to try to sell this car, or it's gone forever. And I did everything. And I had some bites. I had some people right away that wanted to buy this car. But unfortunately, I couldn't make the sale go down. There's Mr. Rock Hudson in one of the movies that he did. I think the most important thing you need to remember when you're looking at this car is that it is completely untouched. It's you want to talk about time capsules, like, I don't even know how the car made it from the United States all the way into Germany, in a small town in Germany, no less. This undamaged, this original, this unrestored. I wish I could find out more about the story than that. All I know is that this guy contacted me. He told me you got 48 hours to try to sell this car. If you can't, it's gone forever. And I didn't know what he meant by that, but all I know is that that's it. It was gone. It's never been seen before. Now, this was found, I found this in, I think it was 2005. Rock Hudson actually touched that shifter lever. He actually touched the gear shifter. Like, this is amazing. If you're an older person and you know who Rock Hudson is, the younger generation don't know who Rock Hudson is, but he was a famous movie star back in the 50s and 60s. He actually was in this car. This is crazy to even think about this. And the fact that he actually took care of his car, well, he didn't exactly take care of all of his cars. There was a situation where, he was coming from a friend's house in Hollywood Hills, and, he kind of had one too many, and there was an infamous crash that he did, and it was a pretty nasty crash, and he got hurt a little bit, but I think I got a picture of that a little bit later on. But when you look at the interior pictures of this car, the exterior pictures of this car, you just got to keep in mind that this was a pretty exclusive car. To begin with, it was a pretty exclusive car, ordered by him. He actually did order this car from Ford, and you'll see that on this signed piece of paper that I'm going to show you towards the end. And I say towards the end because I was shocked that there was actual documentation to prove that this was Rock Hudson's personal driving vehicle. And to look at these pictures is like there's no way a car like this is untouched. But you know what? Take a really good look at the individual pieces and parts of the car. They don't resell this stuff. They don't repop it. Like, if anybody tried to recreate or restore this car, no, I'm not gonna lie, that engine does look like it has been repainted. There's no way it made it through life with that shiny still. You know, but it also doesn't look like the motor's ever been out of the car either. So it's a kind of tough one. You know, when I say it's unrestored and untouched, I'm going by what I've been told. Rock Hudson drunk crash site. Yeah, Mr. Hudson was coming from a friend's house in Hollywood Hills, and he was hammered, absolutely hammered, and he crashed one of his cars into a tree. Poor fella, and he walked away from it too. I mean, he was a little bit hurt, but he literally walked away from that crash. But I'm showing these pictures again of the car because I only have a few pictures of it. It was an exclusive thing that this guy had sent me. And I got to re-show the pictures of it. I mean, it's mind-boggling that this car is unrestored and untouched. You know, one of the things that really surprised me is, okay, let's just take this into a reality check. This car is in Los Angeles, California. It gets, when the 50s or 60s, when, people didn't do things the exact proper way. This thing gets loaded into a container ship to go overseas on a very long trip. Probably took 30 days to get there. Bounce around a container on the ocean. Ends up in Germany, and it still looks like this. I mean, obviously the car has been cleaned up, buffed up, shined up. But how do you transport a car all the way from Los Angeles, California to Germany, and the car still remain untouched? Like somebody had to have had some pretty deep pockets, because you're now a guy in Germany that has Rock Hudson's personal 59 T-Bird convertible, and you're going to drive it around. You can see a little bit of dirt on the top there. That's Rock Hudson's actual fingerprints and dirt on those knobs. That was Rock Hudson that did that. Like, the younger generation, oh, big deal, whatever. Okay, let's just do it this way then. Let's just say this was Justin Bieber's personal vehicle 50 years later. Oh, yeah, well, now I got your attention for the younger crowd, don't I? What if this is Kurt Cobain's vehicle from Nirvana and he drove this car? Well, I got another generation's attention, don't I? But this car was actually owned by Rock Hudson himself. He drove this car around. I don't know if on a daily basis or not, but he ordered the car, he paid for the car, he picked the car up, and he drove the car. Back in 2005, I believe when I found it, this wasn't $1 million car. This guy that was showing me the car was not asking for $1 million. They only wanted 60 grand for this car. And I wish I would have bought it. I'm just an idiot for not buying this car. This is the kind of car that you just buy and tuck away into your garage and just hold on to it. And even holding on to it doesn't mean it's going to gain any value, but damn, man, this is Rock Hudson's car. Yeah, the guy had a lot of history behind him, and he died of age at 59, and there was a lot of controversy about the guy. But at the end of the day, go watch his movies, man. The guy could act. He was a good actor. And that really, at the end of the day, was what it was all about. Yeah, his personal life was all shit and shams, but the guy could really act. He was a good actor. I enjoyed a lot of the movies that he had. I've showed some friends some movies that he did, and it just, people live the lives they live, and that's just the end of it. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? The valve cleaner or the air cleaner looks untouched with those valve covers. I mean, if you're driving that motor a little bit, even though the paint was good back then, there would be a little bit more wear and tear on that. But the car was what it was. It was unrestored. There's Mr. Rock Hudson beside another car that he had. I think that was on a movie set that he had. You know, but it is what it is. It's a beautiful car, and it's good to see him. There's the actual paperwork right there. Look at the bottom. That's Rock Hudson's signature himself. I even extended it and slowed it down so you can take a good look at the bottom there. That was Rock Hudson's signature. God, what a beautiful car. No question about it. That is a beautiful, unrestored 1959 Thunderbird. Well, I appreciate you coming out and checking out our Tales from the Bush. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, you know, if you can contribute with the Patreon page, that sure would be appreciated. You know, it just helped me keep going. Thanks for coming out and checking out from another Tales from the Bush.